Hi, my name is Vesta Walker, and I will be playing the role of Grace Stevens in the film Impossible. I relate to the character Grace because Grace reminds me of people that I know personally in my life, clients that I've had doing my work in crime victims, in the crime victims world. And also just being a dancer that has had injuries over the years, and it's seeming like you'll just never get back to what you used to do, and being able to persevere and use that passion and that love for dance to heal yourself are the ways that I relate to the character Grace.
Hello, my name is Scarlett Marmolejo, and I am playing the character of Deborah. Deborah is a social worker, and she meets Grace in a really traumatic stage of her life, and helps this lead character kind of find peace within herself and open a lot of different horizons that she's probably not seeing at the moment, and helps the story get along to where Grace finds herself, finds that courage, that happiness that was missing, and moves on to a better place. They become very close. It's an interesting relationship where in every profession there are parameters that you cannot break. However, sometimes you find, in this case, Deborah finds a younger version of herself in Grace, a person that has been abused and has suffered a really bad traumatic experience, and it brings back memories of herself as well. And being a survivor, Deborah being a survivor of domestic violence, feels like she needs to get closer to Grace and create more of a friendship. We cry with you. We rise with you. We fight with you. We survive with you. You don't have to go through this alone anymore. You don't have to be afraid. She's definitely a strong woman, and she's definitely had a lot of life experience. I can relate to her in the sense that I'm also a strong person. She has like a little bit of a kind of like a leadership kind of quality. So the sense that this character is so warm and happy and strong-willed and just determined and focused in life, that attracted me to her, and to want to get to know her and eventually get to play her.
Hi, my name is Christine Janik, and I'm a consultant with the film Impossible. I'm also a social worker, a licensed clinical social worker, and have worked over the years with survivors of crime as well as domestic violence. Well, the film, when I was approached about the film, just from the very first sentence, I was attracted. I think that it's a brilliant idea, the concept about how someone can suffer a tremendous tragedy, relate it to an issue that impacts across all socioeconomic statuses of domestic violence and all backgrounds and all people, and showing how someone with some help and some coaching and being available to them can really be resilient. And in this film, the main character is Grace, and watching her where she was basically left for dead. It's horrifying, but from the very moments of her waking up in the hospital to seeing her taking the steps and how it's kind of developed in the film, is that you see that it wasn't something that happened immediately, it was a process.
What you'll see in the film is my character making the transition from victim to survivor, using her passion for dance as the vehicle.
You can use a lot of different outlets to help yourself. Some people do writing, some people do, singing.
It could be art, it could be bike riding, it could be music, it could be yoga, it could be meditation.
Some people do a lot of different things. In this case, it's dancing that helps Grace kind of heal herself and let out all those demons that she has inside.
So many things attracted me to the film. For one, I'm a dancer.
I love dance, so the fact that they use the arts to kind of heal the issues inside, that to me was beautiful. Like, you use arts and you have a strong subject, you make them you make magic together and bring it to the world.
I don't know life without dance, so I love dance. A big part of me just is dance, and also I am a former domestic violence advocate and crime victim social worker. So I worked for a number of years advocating and providing supportive services and therapy to victims of crime. So those two things together in this film really made me fall in love with it.
It's a serious issue. It's something that in my personal life I've had someone really close to me go through this, and it's something that it scars you for life, and you don't want to ever see anyone go through, you know, being hurt, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, psychologically. And that topic itself was so strong that it made me like, I have to be part of this. I have to expose this to the world. I have to tell a story. I have to let people know, you know, bring awareness.
I definitely think it will help people. I think not just even young people, although I think that young people, it's a great film for young people. You know, maybe even people, the young people in the dance world.
But I think intimate partner violence, domestic violence, is something that we don't really talk about very much. And I think that the film brings the issue to the forefront in a really interesting way.
It's not normal to be a victim of violence. That's not something normal that should happen, but that an awful thing can happen to anybody, any person, and that you can get help. And I think that's the biggest thing. People are so afraid to get help because you're so isolated.
And I think it'll really be helpful to bring attention to a really important cause, and it brings attention to something that happens so much, but we don't really talk about it, and we don't always know.
It will be that you can talk about it, and that you can get help from it. That you can seek, counseling services.
Everyone should watch the film. Whether we like to believe it or not, domestic violence affects all of us. I'm sure everyone knows at least one person who's experiencing this horrible day-to-day living.
Everyone should watch it because it should hit home for everyone that, Grace, may be your sister. Grace may be your best friend. Grace may be your friend next door. Grace may be in your dance class in the bar, doing plays with you. Grace could be anybody.
Where I think it's important for us to all be aware of it, so it's not such an isolating experience, and people know that they're supported and they have people that understand and are also willing to help.